The Matrix. This movie was a big deal. It's green. The Matrix is from 1998. It lasts about 2 hours 15 minutes and it stars Keanu Reeves as Thomas Anderson, aka Neo, Laurence Fishburne as Morpheus, and Carrie as Trinity. Who made this? It was made by Lily and Lana Wachowski. The movie opens and it's green. Everything in this movie is green. It's kind of like, everything has got a green tinge, but it's kind of like, because it's all code, it's green, right? The movie opens and a bunch of cops are bursting into a room where a woman is sitting at a computer. Yeah, this is Trinity. And the guys are like, the cops are here to arrest her for some reason. It's a completely empty room, by the way, except for a computer and a desk. What kind of place is this? I don't know. But she's sitting there and the cops are about to arrest her. But she does this crazy kick, right? She jumps up and the whole world spins around her. Yeah, it's like that. The camera spins round and she's frozen in air and she kicks this lad in the chest.
In the chest?
And then she beats him all up and kills him. Well, meanwhile, outside the building, some agents show up.
Then why you don't want any Asians to buy it, the movie?
Well, because the simple reason they're total Asians.
What would... Oh, no, agents. do you know what you're...
Yeah, they're like SDI. That's how you think they are to start with, that they're not. And they start to give chase and she gets scared because she doesn't like agents. So she runs off out of the building, across the rooftop, makes it down to street level where she finds a phone box. Yeah, why does she need that? You'll find out. She's sitting in. No, she's not. But she gets to the phone box just as one of the agents appear in a massive garbage truck. Yeah, and they start to drive towards the phone box to snatch it up. And they drive towards it just as she answers the phone, and then she's gone.
Poof. Gone.
The agents say, she got away, it's okay. We'll find them all. After this, we cut to Thomas Anderson, Keanu Reeves, and he's sleeping at his computer, and he's woken up because some text appears on his screen. I don't know how that works. Well, it says wake up Neo, so he does, because his hacker name is Neo. He's a wee computer geek. He wakes up and sees the text on the screen. It says follow the white rabbit, and then it says knock knock, and he hears a knock at his door.
Hey, there's somebody at the door. Oh, there's somebody at the door. Come on, there's somebody at the door.
And it's someone he knows who has come to buy a dodgy computer program from him. Yeah. And the guy says, listen, why don't you come to the club with us? It'll be great. And Neo says, no, that's alright, thanks. And then he sees one of the girls in the group and she's got a white rabbit tattoo. Yeah, so he's like, right, she's hot, I'll go. No, that's not what he's following the white rabbit. Oh, I thought he just fancied her. No. So they go to the club and a woman approaches Neo and she says, hello Neo. He says, how do you know my name? And she says, I'm Trinity.
The Trinity? I just thought, you were a guy.
Basically, Trinity says, I can help you find the answer to the question you've been searching for all your life. What is the Matrix? Cut to the next morning, once again, Thomas Anderson is waking up. Yeah, he's late for work. He makes it in and he goes and speaks to his boss, and the boss is like, you keep being late, Mr. Anderson. You have to duck up to your ideas. And Thomas Anderson goes and takes his seat at his little cubicle and he gets a hand-delivered package. Thomas Anderson opens his little package and it's a mobile phone. Yeah, an old school phone. Yeah, but at the time it was like, this is the phone you wanted. Why? Because it flipped. It was a flip phone and it looked so cool and so futuristic back in the day. It's rubbish. It's no rubbish. The phone instantly starts ringing. He answers it and it's Morpheus. Yeah, and Morpheus is like, listen, there's no agents coming to get you. I can help you escape, but you have to listen to my instructions exactly. So Thomas Anderson says, okay, tell me what to do. So he guides him through the office. He's like, right, duck here. When I say go, run across to the next cubicle, turn left, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then he leads him onto the ledge of the building. Makes it out onto the perimeter of the building, and he's like 200 feet up at this point. Yeah, it's scary, and he drops the phone. And then he's like, nope. He's not daft. He goes back inside and he thinks, I'll take my chances with the FBI. He chickens out and he goes back inside and the agents take him and arrest him. Yeah. So we see Thomas Anderson in the interrogation room with these agents, and he says, listen, give me my phone call, I know my rights. And then the agents, right, one of the agents says, what good is a phone call if you can't speak? Yeah, when I first saw this, I thought they were going to beat him up so much that he couldn't speak. But no, they do something far worse. They make his mouth disappear. Yeah, it's like skin grows over his mouth. It's horrible. And then they lay him down the table and they put this little horrible little squiggly robot bug inside his stomach. Yeah, it's disgusting. And once again we cut to Thomas Anderson waking up.
For the third time?
Yeah, he's at his apartment and he's thinking, oh, it was all a dream. And then he gets a phone call from Trinity and he goes out to meet Trinity and he meets another computer geeks. And it's ATOC and Switch. They bring out this device and they put it on his naked belly and they pull out the little squiggly bug robot thing. Yeah, and he's like, oh my goodness, it is real. Help! He doesn't say help, but they take him to see Morpheus. Yeah, they go into this big old building. Green, of course. Yeah, well, everything's tinged green. And he meets Morpheus, and Morpheus basically makes him question reality. Yeah, Morpheus says, listen, here are some pills. Do you want a red pill or a blue pill? Don't take any drugs. If a strange man offers you pills, don't take any. That's my advice. Okay.
Good advice.
Well, he takes a red pill anyway, because Morpheus says, if you take the red pill, I'll show you how deep this rabbit hole goes, and I'll show you everything you've ever wanted to know. Or if you take the blue pill, you can wake up in your own bed tomorrow, and it'll all be a dream, and none of this has happened.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Yeah, take the blue pill. Well, he doesn't. He takes the red pill, idiot. And then he begins questioning reality on his own. He touches a mirror, which is in the room. Yeah, this is really cool. The mirror turns to like liquid mirror, and it engulfs his arm, and then goes down his throat. And then he wakes up, and he's actually in a tub full of jelly, and he looks like a big slimy daddy. He's got no hair, no eyebrows, and he's got like nuts and bolts on him. Well, he's got holes down the back of his head and down his spine. It's gross. But this is the real world, and in the real world, he is picked up by a machine and thrown into the smelly water below.
Like a piece of rubbish.
Yeah, and then a ship comes along, a space ship. It's called the Nebuchadnezzar. And Morpheus is in command, and they pick up Neo. So on board the Nebuchadnezzar, he is told this is the real world. It's rubbish. Stay in the Matrix. The Matrix is a computer program, which is what we think of as the real world. So there are people with jobs, there are shops, there's good food, there's wine. That really, humans are just born and they're put into like catchills, and then their life force is used to power machines. If you're living like this on a Nebuchadnezzar, eating slotty, watery oatmeal every day, I'd say you'd lost the war. Anyway, on board, he meets the rest of the crew. He meets Mouse, he meets Switch and Apoc again. He meets Tank and Dozer, who are brothers. Yeah, he meets Morpheus himself properly, Trinity herself properly, and he meets Cypher. Ah, Cypher. So Neo's body has to heal up, yeah, because it's never been used. So he's like all sore anytime he moves, and his eyes hurt, and he has to he just lies there for ages like he's hungover. And then eventually it's time for him to begin training. Yeah, so what they do, right? He sits in a chair and they plug a big stake into the back of his head.
Could you not?
This is how they enter the Matrix. They sit in a chair, get plugged in, and they can access pretty much anything. So Dozer is in charge of the training, and he plugs Neo in, and he teaches him every martial art in the world in seconds. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Morpheus comes along and says, how's he doing? And Neo says,
I know Kung Fu.
And Morpheus says,
Show me.
so they both get plugged into this training program. It's in a big dojo, and they have a kung fu fight. It's pretty cool. Eventually, during the fight, Neo realises, the rules here are not the same as I always thought they were. I can do whatever my mind wants to do. So he runs up a dean, and he does backflips, and he's so fast, and he's so powerful. It's really cool.
I wish I could show you.
After this training, it's the jump program. Yeah, Morpheus jumps about, I don't know, He jumps about 60 feet in the air to jump between buildings, and he says, "Come on, Neo, you can do it too." And Neo jumps and falls to the earth. Luckily, the earth is a bit spongy, so he bounces and comes back down, and the earth's solid again, and he gets hurt. Yeah, and in the chair back in the real world on the Nebuchadnezzar, his knife's bleeding, and he's unplugged, and he says, "Wait, if you get hurt in the Matrix, do you get hurt here? Do you die here?" And Morpheus says, "Yet." During this training sequence, Morpheus also teaches Neo all about the agents. He says no one has ever faced an agent and lived. The agents are things that can move in and out of any program in the Matrix. They're all powerful. They cannot be defeated. But don't worry, Neo, you're the special one. Neo says, "Are you trying to tell me I can dodge bullets?" Yeah, that's right. And Morpheus says, "No, I'm telling you, when the time comes, you won't have to dodge bullets." Kill. I think Morpheus is silly nonsense. The training is interrupted because squiddies appear. Yeah, squiddies are these things that they're on the real world looking for humans, and they find the Nebuchadnezzar, and if they get too close, they will destroy the ship and kill everyone on board. So the only way to stop them is to fire off an EMP charge, which it takes them out but also takes out the power to the ship temporarily. So they have to turn off all the tower so that the squiddies can't see them. Yeah.
We're playing hide and seek.
At night, Neo is wandering through the Nebuchadnezzar and he meets Cypher, who's sitting at a computer screen. Yeah, he's just looking at like zeros and ones. That Cypher says he can see everything. Well, Cypher says he can see blondes, brunettes, redheads. And then he says to Neo, "Yet, it's disillusioning, isn't it? This is rubbish. I should never have taken the red pill." So Cypher and Neo have a bit of banter. Neo leaves, and then we see Cypher in the Matrix. Yeah, he's in this fancy restaurant, dressed nice, and he's sitting chilling out with an agent. Agent Smith, he's like the leader agent. And he's saying to Agent Smith, "Put me back into the Matrix, let me forget all of this. I want to be famous, I want to be rich, I want to be someone important like an actor." And Agent Smith's like, "Yet, deal. Now all you have to do is give us Morpheus." So that's what Cypher's going to do. He's going to sell out Morpheus so he can go and live a life of luxury. In his mind, yeah, but he won't know any better. Still in his mind, but he won't know. In his mind. The next day, Morpheus takes Neo to meet the Oracle.
The Oracle?
Yeah, she's this old lady that lives in the kitchen. She's inside the Matrix. And while Neo's waiting to meet the Oracle, he meets this little boy. Yeah, there is no spoon. There is, I can see it. The little boy's saying there is no spoon. Whatever you believe is reality in the Matrix. That I can see this thing. Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's just, he's holding it. Yeah. Anyway, Neo meets the Oracle. After a bit of back and forth, she basically tells him, "You're not the one."
Sorry, dude.
So we know how Neo and Morpheus and everyone else get into the Matrix. Do you remember how they get out? Oh yeah, they answer a phone. Tank and those are stay behind, and those opens up certain phone lines around the world in the Matrix, and you answer the phone and then you're sort of sucked in through the phone. Yeah, I mean not physically, but that's more or less it, yeah. So they leave the Oracle's building, and it's not just Morpheus and Neo in the Matrix at this point, it's also Trinity and Apoc and Switch and Mouse and Cypher. So they go to this big empty building to use the phone lines there that Cypher has sold out. And there are cots there, SWAT team, and they go in and they take out Mouse instantly and just gun him to death. Mouse is already in the house waiting for them for some reason. Yeah, he's dead. So then the others start to make a run for it. They hide in the walls of the building. Yeah, but then Cypher sneezes because of the dust, or because he's trying to sell them out. Morpheus says, Get Neo out of here, get him back to the real world. I'll hold the cops off because Neo is the most important one." And Neo's like, "No, I'm not that important," because he hasn't told Morpheus what the Oracle said. So Trinity grabs Neo and they all go sliding down inside the walls of the building, try to kill. And Morpheus bursts through the building and starts to fight one of the cops. Yeah, that the cop has been taken over by an agent, and now he's Agent Smith. And Morpheus can't beat him. Morpheus can't beat him up. No, he tries, but he gets beaten up Yeah, he's getting beaten up and he gets taken. Back in the real world, Cypher makes it back first. He's been separated from the rest of the group. Yeah, and he says to Dozer, "Are the rest that yet?" And Dozer says, "Nope." So Cypher takes an acid laser gun and he shoots Tank. And then he shoots Dozer, and then he phones up, and then he answers the phone when Trinity calls, and he says, "Well, you didn't see this coming. Say goodbye to Atok." And he tells the switch on Atok, and Atok dies, and then he does the same to Switch.
Not like this.
And then he's about to do the same to Neo, and he says, "If Neo is the one as Northeast believes, then I can't possibly pull this switch. Something must happen to save his life." And something does happen. Dozer appears with the laser gun.
I don't believe it.
And he blasts Cypher
Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you still gonna burn.
into oblivion. Yeah, and Cypher shrinks. I think it's just a special effect. No, he's a tiny man now. He's not, he's dead. Ah, good. So Trinity and Neo make it back to the real world. Meanwhile, we see Morpheus is tied to a chair in a big office building and he's been interrogated by Agent Smith. Yeah, his nine's too strong though, he won't break. Agent Smith wants codes for the last human city in the real world, Zion. That Morpheus is like lying there, almost unconscious, that his mind is too strong. And then he takes sweat off Morpheus's head and he makes Morpheus sniff it. Smell your own sweat, Dede. Yeah, it's quite disgusting. At least it's sweat off his head. Back on board the Nebuchadnezzar in the real world, they're thinking, what can we do about Morpheus? How can we help him? And Dozer says, "Let's kill him." So he's about to pull the plug, and Neo says, "No, let's not kill him. Trinity and I will go in and save him." Yeah. And Dozer's like, "That's suicide, let's just kill him. He can't wait to kill him." Neo and Trinity go into the Matrix, and they are armed to the teeth. They've got like 1,000 guns each, and they go into the office building, and they go through the front door for some reason, and they go through security, and the security guard's like, "Do you have any metal items or objects on you?" And Neo opens his jacket, and he's got 80,000 guns, and he just starts killing these innocent people. Yeah, well, any of these people, any of these security guards could become an agent at any time. Yeah. Or they could just go home to their families. Yeah, well, he takes them all out. Him and Trinity have this huge fight in the lobby. Gunfight and then hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, it's so cool, by the way. It's really amazing fighting. It really is. And then there's a big explosion. It's so cool. They make it to the roof of the building where they meet more cops and they beat them up. And then one of the cops becomes an agent. And as said before, no one's ever faced an agent and won. No, that Neo manages to dodge bullets. It's cool. He's like, it's really cool. You see this in a few films, yeah, but this is the movie that invented it. Really? So many things have ripped it off or used variations of this technology over the years, but this was the originator. People tend to forget that. Anyway, he's doing that, and this distracts the agent long enough for Trinity to sneak up beside the agent and shoot him in the head. Good day, agent. Although, it doesn't actually kill the agent. No, it just kills the cop whose body he took over. How are they going to get to where they need to be inside the building from the roof, and then they see a helicopter?
Isn't that handy?
Yeah, so Trinity says to Dozer, "Listen, give me the program to fly that helicopter." So he does. So Trinity pilots the helicopter. Neo sits on the edge of it with a minigun. A minigun! It's really cool. And he blasts this building. And he's shooting all the agents. The agents are running away. Morpheus wakes up out of his state. And he snaps his handcuffs. Starts to run towards the edge of the building to jump towards the helicopter. Yeah, he gets shot in the ankle though. And another kill shot. Yeah, but he jumps. Neo ties a strap around himself. He also jumps. And he catches Morpheus. And Trinity flies them off. Straight into a building. Yeah, she crashes the helicopter into a building. But it doesn't matter because all three are safe. They make it back to street level, run down into a subway, and they find the phone, the exit. Yeah, Morpheus answers the phone, and he tells a weird face when he gets transported. his eyes roll up into his head. Yeah, I don't know why he does that. No one else does that. Anyway, then Trinity's like, when we go back on board the Nebuchadnezzar, there's something I really need to tell you. I won't tell you just now, but I'll tell you when we get back. So she uses the phone and she gets taken back. Just as she does, Agent Smith appears on the subway platform. And now it's Agent Smith and Neo. 1-on-1. And they're this really cool fight. They use guns and then they use hand to hand. And it's so cool. And it's amazing. And it's... you like it? Yeah. Eventually they both fall onto the train tracks. Agent Smith holds Neo on his knees as a train approaches, and he says, "Do you hear that sound, Mr. Anderson? That is the sound of inevitability approaching." And Mr. Anderson says, "My name is Neo." And he jumps, he makes it onto the platform just as a train comes along and smashes into Agent Smith. Then he stands there and he thinks, "Whew, I'm glad that's over." And then the train starts and Agent Smith steps out. Yeah. It's not that easy to kill an agent. So Neo runs for it. He runs up the steps into the city. He speaks to Dozer through his earpiece and he's saying, "I need an exit." So Dozer says, "I've got one for you. It's miles away, but run to that place and you'll make it." Yes, he runs off. The while he's running, right, people randomly in the city are changing into agents and throwing knives at him and trying to shoot him and things like that. It's really cool. Must be weird for the people watching them. Some little girl's parent turns into an agent. What's she gonna think? Eventually Neo makes it to the building where the phone line is. He is just about to burst through the door to answer the phone because he can hear it ringing, and then Agent Smith appears beside him and shoots him. Shoots him dead. The end. Credits. Not really. He gets shot and he dies. In the real world, Trinity talks to him and says, "Listen, you can't be dead because the Oracle told me that I would fall in love with the one, and I fell in love with you, so you must be the one, so you can't be dead." Yeah. So this is enough for Neo to come back to life in the Matrix. Yeah. And he stands up and Agent Smith's like, "What are you doing?" And now Neo realises he is the one, and he has transcended the rules of the Matrix, and he can see everything in binary and computer code. It's really cool. It's not binary, by the way. Well, some of it is. No. So Agent Smith starts to fight him, but effortlessly Neo blocks every punch, every kick, and basically kicks his ass. Yeah. And then Agent Smith, being a program, can just fight forever. So Neo runs towards him, dives inside him, and takes over his body, explodes him from the inside out. Yeah, and the other two agents, they're at the end of the hall watching this, and they look at each other and they run off like Laurel and Hardy. After this, we cut to a screen full of code, and we hear Neo's voice, and he's speaking to the machines, and he's saying, "Everything's changed now. I know what I am, I know what you are, and I'm going to show everyone in the world that we can do whatever we want. There are no rules." And then they see him hanging up the phone in the Matrix on a dizzy street. He steps out of the phone booth, then from a top-down shot of the city, he flies towards the screen, and that's the end. And it's so cool. So that's the Matrix. Did you enjoy it? I loved this. It's not perfect, but it's great. This is in my top 5 movies that I've ever seen. Really? Yeah. Did you like it? This is always one of my favourite movies. When I first saw it, it became my favourite movie, and it was my favourite movie for over a decade. Really? Yep. I mean, to me, it's almost perfect. No, it's not perfect. It's almost perfect. It's green. It doesn't matter about the green. Troll 2 would love this. They like green. No. Hit like, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time. Mr. Anderson.